Hi, if you want to subscribe to my channel, all you need to do is press the subscribe button. And if you want to get notifications about when my next video comes out, just press that little bell on the side of the subscribe button. And you'll get to be the very first person to get the notifications when my videos are out. Hello everybody, Creative Crafts here, and I'm Kathy. Today's tip of the day is, what do you do with old newspaper? Watch further and you'll see what I have prepared. So I tried a couple other methods. It seemed that it didn't work well. I tried to make my own yardstick out of cardboard, but for some reason the paper just doesn't want to pull off it. Then I used this. Yeah, it worked a few times, then after a while it got stuck. So can't use this either. Maybe when it says plastic coated or something, I don't know. So I'm going to go do this. Back to my stick. And make as many as I can. I don't know exactly how many I will need. So it's better that you just make as many as you can. You have extra, you can always use it for other ideas. Not what I wanted. I didn't think that was going to do that. That doesn't matter. It's on the paper. So try not to put too much glue. You don't really need much. What do? Try to pull some back up inside. What do? Put too much. Don't put as much as you see that I did here. It's a real waste. And you don't want to do that. So don't snug it, don't do it too tight, because then you won't be able to get it off. Once you make a ton of these, can't tell you exactly how many, that's why I said a ton, we need to work on the bottom. And how we do that is you need to work on the bottom and decide how big you want your bowl. My bowl, I want at least a very good size. So to start the bottom, what you need to do is you take one of these. What I suggest is you get a stick or something like this, round or thick or something like this. It depends on how you want it. I want to make a bowl, so I'm going to use this small end. And what I'm going to do is roll it so that it's, I want it perfectly round. And what's so good is that there's some glue on the paper here, so that's a good thing. And then you try to pull it snug as possible. This you can pull snug. And then roll. And then of course on the end, I'm not going to even pour it, I'm just going to wipe it from the top and do that. And then you can usually pull this off. That wasn't tight enough. Why is that doing that? I don't know. But maybe we can fix that later. You want to make sure that it doesn't have these little gaps. I don't know why it does that. Maybe because the paper was too big. I'm not sure. Could be. Maybe I should make something smaller. I'm just experimenting here because I saw a tutorial, a very old one, how to make this. And they used a pretty thick piece of paper. So I'm just gonna follow what they did. On the inside, I'm going to put the clay. You can use normal clay. You can use the paper clay. I have a recipe for it. That's probably why I did that, because it's crooked. I suggest that you use whatever clay you feel comfortable with. You can use poly clay, Paris plaster too. You can use that also. Just keep going around until you know that it's the size that you want. This is going to be a very difficult task. Doesn't matter what the paper is going to look like, because you're going to put a coating over it of paint after. You're not going to see much of this anyway. The last piece, then you have to try to make sure you get it. See, this bowl is I'm going to start this with the bottom, and then I'm going to work my way up. And that's how I'm going to make my bowl. And this is how the method that you do. So let's put some clay on here. Now, so we're on the next step. You make this as probably the big, round as your face, probably just the front of it. I don't know if you can see. You can make it smaller or bigger if you want, your choice. I think I used at least 40 of these papers on here. I do suggest to get a yard stick, a ruler, yard ruler, because it's smaller. And it doesn't make it so wide like this. It's thinner with the yardstick. I have no problem that mine is too big. It's okay. I still can show you what you can do if you use it with the yardstick. So okay, I'm done piling it up. I used about 40 of these to make this. Hold on. Whoa! I used about 40 of these. 40 of these sticks, the paper things. So now it's time to start making the layers going up. What you need to do is you take your flat piece, make sure it's flat. What you could do is after you roll it, take it to the side of the table, don't pull it too hard, hold it down on one end and pull from the other end and go right across the edge of the table. That helps it to stay flatter. You don't want it to have any kind of like an oval like this. You don't want it like this. You want it like this when you put it on. So what you're going to do now is you want to make now your layers going up like this. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your glue and directly at the one end of the paper, not in the middle, not in the side, right at the end. So what you do is put the glue, need to fill this thing back up. I don't want to put too much, so I'm going to just take this and go like this to it. So it goes all the way to the end. Grab some from here and put it down here. Make sure it's at the tip. So, and what you do now is you have to make sure you do this level. Only at the half mark, halfway up only. Let's stick it to the other thing. So what you could do is double check it. You can always play with it to make sure. That is at the halfway mark. When it's dry, a little dry, you can go like this and see if it's level if you want. Turn it around. Check all the sides. You can get a ruler and check it all around if you want. But this is how you do the first layer going up. Now, you're going to put a second layer on top of that, the same level. So now you can put it in the middle. the glue. And just try to mix it all around. Don't want to put it where you put your last piece on. You want to overlap that with the next piece. So I'm going to overlap it. And then you may have to hold this end and go around. And overlap that. Make sure you keep it level. I'm going to take a little glue on my finger. And put it on this end. You don't want it sticking out. So. Now you take the next piece and you do it again. And you do it again. You put the next level up, and then you can do it slowly. You don't have to do it halfway like I did here. You can make it go down further if you want. You can make it like this, and then gradually move your levels up. So I'm going to go make some more pieces. This thing is going to be huge. Probably about this size. So I will make some more, go further. Like I told you, if you want to have it go up, or you can see it from here, you have to put the layers slowly upwards, not too much. I think I put too much. Well, you can do it this way or that way. It doesn't matter how design bowl you want. This is what I want as a bowl. So, I mean, I can leave this like this. This is also perfect, just the way it is right now. But I will make it bigger. So here's my newspaper bowl supposedly, but I ended up making a bin out of it. I did two major things wrong. The first major thing is I didn't use a yardstick. I used just a stick that I had hanging around. It was too thick in both directions. The width-wise and the height was way too thick. So the paper came out really big, and it shouldn't have. It should have been almost half. Almost half. Just a little bit bigger maybe, where my fingers are. This is how big it should have been, and the paper would have been more stable, because this is not really stable. I know how newspaper can be stable if it's folded correctly, but I just made a garbage bin out of it. So there you go. You got a garbage bin. Another thing is, what I did wrong is, I wanted a bowl, but instead I layered these things up too high while I was going up, and it should have been very minimal. So thick it should have been for when you want to make a bowl. It has to go up gradually. And if you go too fast, the circle here, this area, is going to shrink smaller. So the less you go up, very little upwards, it'll go out like this. So this is what I wanted to do. It didn't work out that way because I've never made this before. This is my first time. I still think it'll look out great. I'm going to see what I can do. I'm going to paint these all colors, you know, on the lines, and then maybe put some shellac on it. Paint the inside. Maybe after I paint it, it will be a little bit more stable. But this is the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If anyone does make a paper bowl or a bin, please post it in the comments below. Would love to see them. And if you have any questions or comments, also the same. And please subscribe.